You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Sandlin again, a 2-2. Little dribbler on the infield. And then there's a bobble! And the Sox have won it. A Gold Glover at second base, and he muffed it. And the Red Sox win the game 4-3. And there, deep left center, the biggest of flies for the Big Bear. And a game that started on April 10th ends on April 11th, and the Braves win the series.
Oh, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For my Red Sox and Angels, Philadelphia Phillies yesterday. That's just scratching the surface. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show here on this Freaky Friday. Respect my authority edition. Let's get it going, baby. Oh, my goodness. What a week. Seems like it's flown by. Thanks for checking me out here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network. How's everybody doing this morning on this Friday? It's like another beautiful day here in Southwest Florida. Thanks for checking us out here on Twitter, on X, following me at PShep326, and also on the Facebook pages, on the Coastal Sports Network Facebook page, on my Facebook page, on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, CSN, Florida, LinkedIn. As always, call or text the show, 727-858-6650. And right there above, you see the SR1029thegame.com, the app SR1029thegame. If you're in your car or you can't watch the show, that's how you want to do it. I mean, you can watch in your car, or you can listen in your car through the video, but it might cut out here and there. If you want to download the app SR1029thegame, it's free. We don't charge for anything here or anything like that. So anyway, lots to get into today. Probably only going to about 9 o'clock this morning on this Freaky Friday, so we can get you off and start your weekend. And for Angel, maybe get some sleep. My good friend Sheila Book, longtime radio and voiceover personality, will join me at 8:30. She's my only guest today. We got a lot of video to get to, a lot of audio to get to. We'll get to the Masters in a second. Justin Rose with a 7-under yesterday, very impressive. Scotty Scheffler and company, you guys just 3 shots behind. Impressive yesterday, Scotty Scheffler, bogey-free round. Very, very tough to do at Augusta. We got MLB news. We'll do a rundown. NHL and NBA rundown. Was a sort of a light night in the NBA. And actually in Major League Baseball, really. It's only a few games. We'll also get into the Frozen Four. The Frozen Four is set. Congratulations, Jay Pandolfo. Boston University beating Penn State in the nightcap last night in St. Louis in front of a packed house, 3-1. And they move on to the finals, and they will play Western Michigan. We'll show you and let you hear how that game ended. Western Michigan went out to a 2-0 lead. Denver ties it, and in double overtime last night, it was Western Michigan 3 and Denver 2. So it will be BU and Western Michigan in the final of the Frozen Four coming up on Saturday night in St. Louis. So we got some great reaction as well. We'll continue to discuss the clubhouse, a year with the Red Sox with Jaron Duran. He spoke again yesterday. Lots of good stuff. Emotional TNT farewell broadcast last night. Regular season broadcast. Yeah, regular season broadcast. So we'll have some of that. Ernie and the boys, very, very funny. Shaq and Kenny the Jet. And Chuck, obviously. So with all of that, we say a good morning to the one and only Angel Martinez up in Tampa. I am here in Fort Myers, but wherever you are around the country and around the world, hope you are healthy and happy. And yes, Angel, it is a Respect My Authority Friday. If you don't like it, get the fudge out.
That's a good way to start a Friday. That's a good shirt. By the way, see, now here's a couple of things that you have to remember when you do stuff. One is when we play the Tone Loc song, The Wild Thing. Anytime I hear it now, it always references back to McDaniel. There you go.
And where is Mike? Where is Charlie Brown? He hasn't said anything.
He hasn't. It's been very quiet. And then as I was watching the ESPN highlights of the Masters, of course, I hear the music. I'm like, now it's back to the Pete Sheppard show.
Yes, of course it is. And speaking of the Masters, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because speaking of the Masters, as you know, you can't talk about the Masters without having the music in the background. So let us set the stage, as long as we're on it, for today. Well, first of all, there's nothing like golf cuts. Here's a few highlights from yesterday, courtesy of the Masters.com, because of course, very little TV coverage in the first and second round, because it's like you're, in old communist Russia. It's like a big wall that Augusta people put. So you have to hunt for the video and the audio early on in the first two rounds. Here's some highlights. I see. I can't lower the music on the Masters and then hear the cut. So I have to lower the music on the music on the Masters. So forgive me, because technology here is just okay. Nothing big. We'll get back to the music in a second, because breakfast at the Masters with Pete is just really is outstanding. Okay, some more highlights. Here's Bryson DeChambeau for the tie for second.
185 yards, folks.
Oh, how about that? That's different gravy.
Bryson.
Golf cuts on the radio.
That's a birdie.
Yay!
Moves into a three-way tie for second place with Scheffler and Corey Connors, who are in the clubhouse, both posting 68.
Great. Doesn't have the same effect when you can't really see it. Then it can't have video for all of this stuff. Anyway, this morning at the Masters, as we look at the leaderboard this morning, it is Justin Rose on top by 3 shots. He finished 7 under yesterday. Aberg, Connors, and Scotty Scheffler. My pick to win is just 3 shots back. Scheffler, a bogey-free round yesterday, and I'll DeChambeau you for it. He's right with a bunch of people. 4 shots back. Bryson DeChambeau at that 3 under. So there, right now is your Masters update. And tee times will start in about 33 minutes. And I've already accidentally X'd him out already. That's the day that Freaky Friday's off to a start. But you get the idea. Second round of the Masters today. So at 7:40, when they start to tee off again, we'll keep you updated. We'll keep you updated. Anyway, Angel, it's very, very emotional. Masters are very emotional. Some great stuff yesterday. I think Freddie Couples had a couple of unbelievable shots. The old GOAT himself doing a great job. But anyway, we got lots to get into today. How are things up your way this morning?
It is actually really nice. He's got kind of little fog coming in from the Gulf of America. So a little bit of that stuff going on. But other than that, it's nice. Although yesterday they said we were supposed to have the same mirrored day from Wednesday, meaning like it was supposed to be 83, but like that nice 83 where it wasn't too hot and too humid. Well, yesterday, apparently someone decided to say, no, we're going to rank it up and crank it up for that matter too. But I ended up getting pretty toasty yesterday, which is nice. No complaints. We're supposed to have the same identical weather today. And then over the weekend, the 70s. God forbid for one last time before.
79, the high tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And low humidity. Yes, absolutely.
Yep, 74, 75 around here. But other than that, I'm trying to think for the weekend around here, USF has a football tonight, meet and greet, 6 to 8 p.m. For those who are in the area, you can come see the fellas that are trying out for the team, the seniors that are coming back, and obviously the juniors and sophomores as well. So that's
how many walk-ons do they take per year, or on average, I bet? Usually it's only about, I think only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 that make it as a walk-on.
Yeah, that's about your USF has about 2, possibly teetering on 3, but usually 2. So that's what's happening. Obviously,
your spring game tomorrow too. Like Miami's is tomorrow. If you're going to that's on campus, it's not at Hard Rock. So if you're going to the Hurricane spring game, It's on campus tomorrow, free. Is USF's tomorrow too?
Next week.
Next week. Okay.
Next week. It's a spring game. So that'll be next week over at Corbett Stadium, which normally play lacrosse and soccer. So that's what that'll end up being. And it's going to be pretty much a quiet, other than other stuff, but overall, pretty much a busy weekend, but quiet weekend.
Cool. All right, Angel, if we could scroll down, let's do a little bit. It's just, three or four down under MLB. Trevor Story wins it for the Red Sox. All you got to do is get the ball in play. This was an interesting game yesterday for the Red Sox. Finally, they get off the snide. They've been striking out all over the place and leaving runners on base, but they got the job done yesterday. And I think this one is going to propel them. I feel another winning streak coming on as they head out to Chicago, which I'm sure is a much better flight. You can win after a game like this. Go ahead, Angel. Here's how the Red Sox won.
2. Little dribbler on the infield, and then into a bobble, and the Red Sox get the run. And the Sox have won it. A Gold Glover at second base, and he muffed it, and the Red Sox win the game 4-3.
Boy, did they need that, and isn't that just
2.
Yeah, it is. Dave O'Brien, and I think Lenny DiNardo went the call yesterday on Nesson. Pitch runner David Hamilton, by the way, scampered home and a drawn-in infield there, and Toronto couldn't handle it. Trevor Story's numbered to second base, and the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 4-3 in 10 innings yesterday to avoid the four-game streak. They rallied from a 2-1 deficit down in the 8th, trailed again after George Springer sacked Fly in the 10th, because I hate that stupid rule where they put the guy on second. I can't stand that rule in extra innings. But anyway, Jaron Duran led off the bottom half with a single to score the automatic runner. And after Duran was caught stealing, and it was a good call, he was tagged Angel on the buttocks. It was a good call. And it really was, it wasn't the best of throws. It ended up being a good throw. It was to the left of the bag. If it was dead on balls accurate, Duran would have been safe incredibly, but throw was a little high into the left of second base, and therefore he tagged him on the buttocks. Going by, after Duran was caught stealing, the Red Sox unloaded the bases on Raffy Devil's single, and 2 hit batters, by the way, in that one. And then with 1 out and infield in, Story hit the ball off the end of the bat to second baseman Andres Jimenez, Gold Glover, who was unable to field it clearly and throw home. And even if he did field it clearly, I don't think it would have mattered. I think the Red Sox still would have won. It's unfortunate yesterday. The only thing is that Walker Buehler did not get the win because he was awesome. 6 in the third, just 4 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, gave up 1 earned run. He was absolutely fantastic. And they win 4-3. Now, it is interesting right after Angel. Actually, you don't have to. I'll play it from here because it's just the audio. After the game on WEEI, used to be the flagship of the Red Sox. They're just an affiliate now. I don't know who the flagship of the Red Sox is. I don't know if they have a flagship. But anyway, Jaron Duran joined Will Fleming in the Sox booth. Will Fleming, good play-by-play announcer for the Red Sox. After an emotional week, talked about it. And, guess what? The weather came up.
We're thrilled to be joined down in the Red Sox clubhouse by a big reason that they get out of here with a win. Jaron Duran, I guess you just weren't waiting around very long to make it all happen in the 10th inning there, Jaron.
No, I was tired of being in the cold. I'm trying to get some warmer weather. I was like, let's get in and get out of here, boys.
We just saw Trevor get sort of the ice bath. What are you trying to give him pneumonia right now?
I just was talking to Cutter and Romy who tried to do it, and they said they missed him. They said they didn't get him with a drop of water.
They missed him.
Well, that's good. I mean, he is pretty agile. This was, we've been talking about it all week, Jaron. You have the energy in the Cardinals series. The offense explodes. But I can't imagine what it's like to stand out in these conditions. It's just been so cold and miserable. What's it like after all the time in Florida to try to get your body ready to play in these conditions?
Honestly, I try not to make excuses, but like Greg was talking, he's like, it just feels like I have to start my day all over again once I get done with my at-bat. Because you just got to try and stay moving around, and you get out in the field for a little extra long, and next thing you know, you're like have to get your body moving again. So, but we're going to go get some warmer weather in Florida and hopefully in Chicago. So.
The guy behind you started to really swing the bat, Jaron, and you're so familiar with this. The combination that you guys can offer at the top of an offense, your speed, your power, and then here comes Raffy. I think he was so misunderstood throughout this market, what you guys were thinking as it was all happening to begin the year. How good does it feel to see Raffy get it going?
I mean, it's a little scary when I only hit a single and I got to stand at first base and he might rip a ball down my throat. So I'm
That's
hoping
why you tried to steal, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping he gives you a couple pitches to get out of the danger zone. But I mean, that guy, you couldn't tell if that guy was 5 for 5 or 0 for 5, and that's what I really admire and look up to him about is he could care less what he does in the day. He's the same guy on and off the field, and that's what makes him such a great leader for us.
All right, it's Jaron Duran, obviously, and thrilling. And I can imagine if they had lost that game and got swept and had to, fly to Chicago on that would have been a miserable plane ride. But they'll play. Speaking of cold, it'll be at 7:40 tonight. Yesterday that game was at 4 o'clock or 10 past 4 and 1 extra innings. By the way, Meter, gutless. I saw you and Jamie were not there after the 8th inning. I saw it. I don't know where you went, John Meter Perel, and he was giving me the signal. He was right behind home plate yesterday in Fenway. I'm watching him and his colleague, and one of my former colleagues, worked with a couple times, Jamie Parker, does a great job with BC football. And they had seats real good, front 3 or 4 rows up. If you were facing home plate, if you were facing the game, it would have been to the left, but on TV it was to the right. So, yeah, he said he did a little wave, did a little tip of the hat. And then I noticed, it was freezing. It was not as warm as he thought it was going to be at all. It was supposed to be, I guess, in the low 50s yesterday. Was not. And everybody was bundled up again, layers and layers of people, except for these guys, Angel. If we could scroll down, this was kind of funny yesterday in the game. Let me see. Yeah, scroll down under Nesson. The Red Sox walk-off wins. And after the game, every year Harvard law students, the L3s as they call them, have a prom, so to speak. These guys, right? I think you just went past it, Angel, or maybe not. No. It's under NBA on TNT. Shaq gets to show off his portable TV, which we'll see in a second. But it's under Nesson. The Red Sox walk-off wins, and it's got the guys in the suits in the stands. You'll see Tom Caron sitting next to the guys in the stands. It's not that far down. There it is. Yeah, there it is. So this is, in case you don't know, this was an interesting story yesterday. Harvard Law School students usually have like a prom / big dance, and these guys decided to take in the game first.
Oh boy.
So these guys are probably on their 3rd pub stop by now on the crawl to tonight's, what do you call it, the law prom. It's basically they're L3s, they're Harvard law students, and it came down to this decision. We go to the game, then we go home and change for the dance. Or we change now, go to the game, and then have time to hit 2 or 3 more pubs before going to the dance. They made the right choice.
Absolutely the right call. I mean, what better place to be before you go to a ball? Honestly, when I saw this, I thought it was 2 Wall Street guys brought their butlers to the game just to kind of give them a nice day out.
That's coming. That's coming for these guys.
Well, one day.
Yet. And then it grew as the night went on. More people came, met up with them before they went. So these guys are probably on their 3rd.
All right, good stuff. That's a pretty cool thing. Go to the game, get dressed, and then go out, and you don't have to go back home and shower, do everything else. As long as, thank God the weather. Well, thank God it wasn't raining. It was freezing. Those guys went to freezing their butts off because they didn't have any winter stuff on. But tough watching a game. I don't know if I could watch a game in a tuxedo.
That'd be kind of hard because you would feel a little bit. I would think you would feel a little bit uncomfortable. So. It'd be kind of, although it'd be unique. And who knows, the way things are going right now, they're going to probably start some crazy social media trend. Go, your best dressed to the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people get dressed up and have proposals. Even people get married at the game before that where people have dressed up. But, man, I just, I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, anyway, as long as we're talking baseball, why not just do a little baseball rundown from yesterday as well. At the bottom of the hour, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and give you all the TNT shenanigans from last night, highlighting it. I didn't watch any of it live because all those games meant nothing to me, but did see some highlights. But the highlights of the whole NBA season last night, or for last night, was the pre-halftime and post-game show of the TNT stuff. Really, really good stuff. And a real classy speech by Ernie Johnson that will play for you, and then the shenanigans. All right, last night, Cleveland over the White Sox by a score of 6-1. I said 6-1. Damn it.
Comfortable with. Kyle Manzardo mashes one to deep right field. Goodbye. 2-1 Guardians in the first on a 2-out, 2-run explosion from Kyle Manzardo. His 4th home run on the year. He leads the club now with 11 runs batted in.
Yeah, he was on a little 0 for 7 slump right there. So the first pitch,
All right, they go on to win 6-1. The Red Sox in Toronto played you the highlights, or a couple of the highlights already. But here is here's Trevor Story talking about his walk-off. We'll play that. Here's the cut again. Here's how it happened. Here's how they won.
Sandlin again, a 2-2. Little dribbler on the infield, and then it's a bobble! And the Sox have won it. A Gold Glover at second base, and he muffed it, and the Red Sox win the game 4-3.
Boy, did they need that. And isn't that just proof of everything we've talked about over the last few days? You don't have to crush it in these situations. Just find a way to put the ball in play, and things will happen.
Yeah, thanks to Dave O'Brien right there, and Will Middlebrooks after the game. Trevor Story talked about it.
Trevor, a very exciting ending, but when you hit the ball to a guy who's a platinum glover, are you thinking what's going to happen?
I mean, I was just trying to put the ball in play. I didn't really care what happened after that, you know.
Yeah.
But I knew I cued the mess out of it, so that's not an easy play at all.
Oh, yeah, even if he fields that clean, I don't know if he's getting hammy at home the way he flies, but this has been a tough series. There's no way around the offensive issues that have been going on the last couple days. And for you guys to grind this out, get the bases loaded. Oh, yeah, they got him.
Oh, my God.
They missed
Did
him.
they miss?
They did miss.
Eyes on the
with
back
the
of
ice
his
bucket.
head.
Thankfully, they missed in this weather.
Yeah, for real.
Trevor, just to wrap it up, I mean, getting a win like this, your club has lost 3 consecutive games. Not that you're desperate necessarily, but it feels extra nice, doesn't it?
No, it does. You know, on a getaway day, we'll have a happy flight to Chicago. Like you said, it's been a tough, series here with the Blue Jays, but we're just looking to dominate at home, and we didn't do that. These last 3 games, but leaving the homestand, I think 4-3. So I guess that's a success, So that's something we can build on.
Trevor, thanks so much. Congrats.
Thank you.
Trevor Story, game-winning RBI.
All right, then again, Dave O'Brien and Will Middlebrooks, Nesson. Lou Merlone had the weekend off, and I think he's got the next series off. Oh, no, hopefully he's headed to Chicago. Love Will Middlebrooks, but love Lou more. Kansas City and Minnesota, the Twins in the top of the second, tied a game at 1.
Did not even miss a month with that injury. France crushes to left center field. On the run goes Melendez, and that ball is gone, a home run. Ty France into the wind, clears the wall, and France's numbers get better and better by the day against the Royals and at this ballpark. And just like that, it's a 1-1 score.
Oui, Monsieur Ty France. Later on, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Yikes.
In the air, left center field. And Bader is there. Man, did the wind grab that ball. It's deep enough to give the Royals the lead. That ball was hit so high that if it was going to...
Tampa Bay yesterday was getaway day, and they should have not even attempted to play this game. It was all L.A. Angels.
A bigger lead for Renifo.
Trout to the right field corner. This one is deep. Mangum's at the wall, and it's gone! But just inside the short porch and right, Mike Trout has an opposite field homer. The Angels have hit 3 in the inning, and it's 7-1.
That's placed perfectly. You don't see Trouty hit many home runs right down the right field line, but he does on that one.
He wasn't done.
And there's Trout driving one to right center field. It's a multi-home run game for Mike Trout. He is the 3rd Angel to hit 2 home runs today.
You put it out there, Wayne, and Trout delivers. That was an absolute rocket. Now, that's not that 320 on that one going distance. That's way out. That was a short swing. That's the swing that Trout is getting locked in. That was a perfect swing for.
Yeah, Taylor Ward hit a couple, Trout hit a couple, and this guy hit a couple too.
Joe Adell, another rocket, left field, and that ball is going to sail. Chris Morel watches it fly. It's the second home run of the inning for Joe Adell. The Angels have put up 10 runs with 5 home runs in this game.
Well, we talk a lot about things you haven't seen in a long time. Homer twice in the same inning.
What's that?
The first 2 home runs of the year. First home run.
Oh my God! 11-1 Angels over Tampa Bay. It didn't sound like there were very many people there yesterday afternoon. Angel at
no, there wasn't. By the way, what's the plus minus on a full season Mike Trout?
Oh, under. Under. I mean, you got to go under. You know, unless you're telling me he's DHing 99% of the time, which is not the case.
No.
Atlanta and Philadelphia in a long game.
It's so long we can't hear it.
Riley hits it well out to right center. It's going to at least tie this game, and that's what it'll do. RBI double, 2 apiece in the 11th.
We talked about this the other day with Austin Riley. When we see this swing, him driving the ball into the right field gap, you know he's right, and it feels like he is right now. What a big moment, not only to get the run in, but to exchange places and get yourself in scoring position, and now with a real chance to win this game.
It's 2-2. I meant to play this earlier. Schwarber, though, got the Phillies going in the top of the third.
Fly ball, right center field. Harris going back, no chance. That one is gone! Deep into center field. And Kyle Schwarber has just tied this ball game up at 1.
If there's somebody that's going to give Schwellenbach an earned run, it's the Schwarberian.
First run he's allowed this season.
I don't hear you talking about the Schwarberian, Angel.
Come on.
Schwarber, so strong.
Just a rocket.
Are you kidding me?
The Schwarberian. You will now have to refer to him, Angel, as a Schwarberian every time you mention the Phillies.
You know, I think that it's not Tom McCarthy, because Tom McCarthy knows better than that. Long time legend voice of Phillies, but
NBC Sports Philadelphia, that's TV.
That might have been John Kruk, if anybody. But come on.
Well, you know what? If it's Crucky, then it's okay.
No, it's not okay. We're not doing Schwarber ringing and all that nonsense.
Yes, you are. You will. Respect Crucky's authority. You will call him. How about the great Schwarbino?
No. I'm still not taking it.
All right. But you will take this?
In there! Deep left center! The biggest of flies for the Big Bear! And a game that started on April 10th ends on April 11th, and the Braves win the series.
For the second time in his career, Marcell Ozuna with a walk-off homer, a little floating slider in the middle. He knew it right away. The last time he did this, 2018.
Atlanta wins 4-2. That was from FanDuel Sports Network for the Braves, and earlier, as I said, NBC Sports from Philadelphia. Colorado and Milwaukee. Remember, this was like 17-2, 2 days ago, but the Rockies kept it going. I'm not responsible for the intro time. I don't know. I'm not responsible.
Years from now, he'll remember
There he
that.
goes.
This ball swatted high and deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Brenton Doyle goes yard again, and it's 1-0 Colorado.
Well, we've been talking about Brenton being locked in and how good that swing path is. That's his 3rd leadoff home run of his career, 2nd of the season.
And that made it 1-0 Colorado. That was in the bottom of the first. It was a tie game until this.
This ball lined to deep left field. Going back is Yelich looking up. It's off the wall. That'll put the Rockies in front. An RBI double for Tolia. His first ribby of the year. What a beautiful time for it.
Well, it's good to see Michael go the opposite way with his left-handed swing.
And they go on to win by a score of, the Rockies do by a score of 7-2. Let's do a quick NHL rundown here. Then we'll take a break. Then we'll come back with some TNT shenanigans and some highlights from their last regular season broadcast. In Boston last night, somehow, some way, the odds makers in Vegas, they don't fuck up often, but they screwed this up, and I wasn't going to be any part of it. If I was, I would have taken the Blackhawks, and I would have been right. The Bruins were like minus 195 favorite. The Bruins. I don't care who they're playing. It's ridiculous. They won twice in 2 months, basically. And, they got out to a lead last night, but didn't last long.
Now Rinsell. Wheels to the high slot, around to the near side. Send it out in front, swing with the save. They score. Backdoor. Former Bruin Ryan Donato pots it.
Think we get players like that.
Donato. That's his 30th. 2-1 Blackhawks.
I'll tell you, Reinzel's impressed me tonight.
Yeah, they go on to win. Blackhawks go on to win in Boston by a score of 5-2. By the way, the two numbnuts in the stands last night, and it's just, if I had heat vision like Superman, I would I would have shot my laser eyes at these two people, not to injure them, to burn the jerseys which they had on, both of them. Bobby Orr Blackhawk jerseys. It is sacrilege. I told you the story once. I bought a poster in Aruba and I burned it in the garbage can because a guy had a picture of Bobby Orr in a Blackhawk uniform, and I bought it and burned it. Nobody should ever see or touch or put on a Chicago Blackhawks sweater with Bobby Orr's name on it. It's disgusting. It's outrageous. And I don't care where their heritage is or what state they are from or what country. There should be some sort of Bobby Orr Chicago Blackhawk jersey jail. And I would sentence you to life. That's just me. It's awful. Florida beat Detroit yesterday 4-1. Brad Marchand got his first goal, but I don't have that highlight. But I do have Alexander Barkov's goal.
Panthers want to pick up on waivers. Been a mainstay. Signed to an 8-year extension, and they score. Seth Jones took the shot, deflected in. That one's going to salt it away.
Might be Alexander Barkov's goal. I think he got a piece of this. But you're going to see the Panthers again right here. Jones keeps it in. Keep an eye on Barkov's stick. There it comes, and there's the deflection. He's got the position. There's the shot. Not too high, not too low. Perfect. And Barkov knocks it down, one bounce and into the back of the net.
4 consecutive goals.
Yeah, Florida 4, Detroit 1. I'm telling you right now, Panthers are going to be tough for the postseason, defending Stanley Cup champions. Watch out. Columbus over Buffalo 3-2. Nobody cares. In Washington, Carolina, a good one. Caps win.
Top of the right circle, in on Anderson, shoots and scores. Past the right pad, and the Caps strike first in round number 1. Pierre-Luc Dubois gives Washington the advantage.
The Caps wrap up the top seed in the Eastern Conference. We all know what that means. Not a whole hell of a lot. It really doesn't, because I've seen my team get bounced a couple of years, more than one time getting the top seed in the East. How about the Rangers? 9 goals yesterday.
Okay. Something tells me it's as close to elimination as you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Oh, that went in. Off the goaltender, Holmberg. Rangers score. Panarin. He's got a big smile on his face. Oh, man. 9-2.
Yeah, they work from behind. Panarin, I think, is just trying to throw it in front.
Yeah.
He gets it. He'll just throw it in front. And it goes off Horvat's left skate.
All right, final 9-2. Rangers over the Islanders. Winnipeg blank. Dallas 4-0. Vancouver over Colorado 4-1. Nashville in a shootout beat Utah 4-3. Vegas nipped Seattle 2-1, and LA over Anaheim by a score of 6-2. All right, quick break here. I want to tell you first that Phil Castanetti Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia for over 35 years. Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles, so check them out. Phil Castanetti Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. That's 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus, be there. Quick break, and then some emotional and funny moments from TNT, NBA on TNT's final broadcast last night. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a Freaky Friday on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey. Why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class, let's hear what everyone did this weekend.
Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him in the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Minnesota giving Memphis some chances here. 2.5 to go. Morant fouled. Prior to the shot, Edwards commits the foul. Ooh. Who knows where this game is going? 131-119. You would think Minnesota's in control. And then they got the ball back. He drives. He's going to the line, and then he stares down Sean Corbin. Dropped the magic word and got himself teed up. Conley will shoot the technical.
Yeah, Jay Morant at it again. Another technical for him, but how about the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, 44 points, 18 during Minnesota's franchise record 52-point third quarter. And the T-Wolves beat the Grizzlies 141-125 last night in a game between teams that are trying to avoid the play-in tournament. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. There's your NBA highlights as far as that goes. Julius Randle, by the way, had 31-10 for the T-Wolves. Broke open the game with a high-scoring second quarter. With the highest scoring second quarter in the NBA this season. Edwards 5 for 5 in the third. Randle scored 14. Minnesota made 18 of 21 shots, 85.7%. All right. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. Go ahead, Angel. What?
Jerry had, before we went to the break here, he said, I was watching the Masters online yesterday, and one of the commentators' name was...
Hold on. Oh, I want you to start. Hang on a second. You know the rules.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay. Go ahead.
Once again, Jerry from Rhode Island states, I was watching the Masters online yesterday, and one of the commentators' name was Smiley. The other commentator must have said Smiley 1,000 times, and I almost had to turn off the volume, but I love watching it online.
Yes, it's the only way, at least you're allowed to watch online. And there were many, many years you didn't see. The first two rounds of the Masters were not available at all. And then even round 3 was only available on certain holes. It's so stupid.
Why?
It's like, I don't know, because Augusta thinks it's Augusta, this tournament is separate from everything else, and they've had an elitist attitude. It's gotten better over the years. Remember, on Tiger Woods Golf, one of the great video games of all time, every course was on there that you could play. It was everything on PGA Tour for many years except for the Masters. Finally, they came to an accord and you got to play the Masters on Tiger Woods Golf, which was awesome, by the way. It's great. It was still one of my favorite video games to ever play. Tiger Woods Golf. I think FIFA Soccer is probably the best video game. Then I'd go Madden in its prime, and then I would go Tiger Woods Golf. Those would be my top 3. What
was that? How come there has been too much, or unless maybe it's their off season, but I haven't heard too much of a buzz from Live Golf lately.
No, it's out. I mean, there's some Live golfers playing in this tournament. You know, DeChambeau's one of them.
Right.
Well, I think all that is died down because they know there has to be a merger. Basically, I mean, Rory McIlroy has flipped his position on this so many times. You know, it's like watching him pancake. But I think that the animosity has died down significantly because Liv isn't going anywhere. It's just there's going to have to be exceptions and all that stuff. So, whatever. I mean, it's so crazy, but it's also, I mean, I understand the reason. It is an incredible amount of money to go play on that tour, an incredible amount of money. So we'll see. I don't think he's going to hear much of it. It wasn't like last year or the year before where people were getting out of control about it, but I understood the angle from both sides. All right, Angel, if we could scroll down, let's get to some TNT stuff here. Let's see. I wanted to get, let's see, we're going to scroll way down. I wanted to get, where is it? This is, oh man. Oh. I wanted to get to show Ernie's. Okay, NBA on TNT. It's right above the Abdul Carter, by the way. It's right above that. Ernie is outside and had a great speech. By the way, Abdul Carter's medical red check in Indianapolis yesterday showed the stress reaction in his foot is healing. There's been improvement and no surgery will be needed. That's according to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. So right above that, Angel, is where NBA on TNT, it says, its headline, it's been a pleasure to be one of your coworkers. That's it, right there. Lots of scrolling.
Sure is.
Since I'm the old man, I am, and I've been here for 36 years, I want to address all those folks who are watching, but also want to do that by addressing my friends. I still remember in July of 1989, walking through that front door here at the mansion when we didn't have this huge campus that came into being later. And I remember walking past that and knowing this is where Ted Turner had the idea. This is where it all started. We owe so much to him. And I also remember being told back in those days, look, you haven't joined a sports network. You've joined an entertainment network that does sports.
All right, Angel, we can
the result of that.
It's and you can check it. I retweeted. You can listen to the whole thing. Very emotional, great stuff. Thank God Jane Fonda didn't talk Ted Turner out of it back then. If we scroll up just a couple, you'll see NBA on TNT. No shortage of iconic moments on Inside the NBA. Here's some really good stuff from back over the years.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio.
Reach back.
What's up, everybody? Oh, my God.
Oh, you got entertained.
Not in a suit of armor. Don't you?
Not win doing Superman. That was a good old run for the tank. All right, Kenny. I like this.
Kenny Smith, boy.
Elevator, okay, Ernie. Good, nice, Ernie.
Look at Ernie.
Oh, nice, Ernie.
On your mark, get set, go. I'm gonna wait with nothing but my drawers on.
Hey, this is Blake Griffin. Chris Paul trying to get in the locker room. It's the first time I ever heard police presence. I thought he was going to be homeless.
Supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, back to 1. Dumbass.
Yo, dude.
Tell him it's going to be some fun.
Hey, so Chuck, it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, back to 1. I'm not saying no joke. Those are not legal, man. Those are not legal.
Hey, do nothing. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Hey, put the gun down.
I can't believe they put me up to this.
Oh!
Yeah, right. There you go.
Obvious.
Get him, Kenny.
You shut me up, Ernie.
I don't remember that.
The party's over, Chuck. Hey, man, whatever your name is, thank you for my braces. Hey,
This is enough. Get out of here, man. There you go. Go to commercial, Ernie.
lost a cup of water out here.
That was some great stuff. If we could scroll up one more, now we'll get to what happened last night. More shenanigans. Chuck says he's going to say something crazy.
Oh, boy. Which is always good.
I'm going to say something crazy right now.
Oh, today?
I love it.
Today's your day?
I love it.
Today's the day you're going to say something crazy? All these other days I've been around I cannot wait.
Normally you don't announce
San Antonio women and
they're nice.
all other stuff you say is not crazy?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just strictly about it.
Give us the crazy one tonight.
Okay, what's crazy tonight?
The Clippers might be the second best team in the West.
I don't think that's crazy, though.
When healthy.
When healthy, but they're healthy. Hey, Kawhi Leonard's amazing to me, man.
Yes, he is.
He is amazing.
Huh?
He is.
I've never seen a guy who never plays basketball.
Never.
And comes back
like been playing somewhere else. Like he was playing overseas and just came back and played here. Because he does not miss a beat. He doesn't look hurt, Chuck.
He does not.
It's amazing.
Over the Rockets, the Lakers, and Nuggets.
Yes, I think the Clippers are the best team after the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with him. I don't think that's crazy at all. I'm telling you, I've said it, been saying it. If the Lakers have to play, they're going to have a hard time getting out of the first round. I predict they will not get out of the first round. If they play the Clippers or Warriors, or anybody, they're not going to play the Rockets because that couldn't happen until later. But I think the Clippers will give the Lakers all they can handle. I think they'd beat them. I do. And Kawhi Leonard is nuts. When he comes, you don't even realize that how many games he's missed because in the playoffs he's always lights out. All right, now this is something I haven't seen before on TNT. Scroll up, Angel. Watch what Shaq has in the briefcase. I have not seen this, but I know I want it. This is awesome. Watch this. What Shaq pulled out last night at halftime.
Okay, so what you got?
I told you that. Here's his suitcase.
This dude got a TV, Ernie.
A TV in a suitcase.
He's got too much money.
Look.
Who cares about a portable TV?
It's a TV.
You know,
what's on?
Nothing. But look, I got Netflix. I got Prime. I got the Disney. I got the Apple channel.
But Ernie, this is why is Ernie laughing? Ernie, let me tell you why it's funny.
TK.
You know why it's funny? Ernie, so he has that.
I don't want to know what's on
that channel. But he's watching that TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the big screen behind it playing the exact same game.
No, because Chuck, no.
So he's watching.
Chuck be watching the Golf Channel.
Game.
I'll be watching Golf Channel.
And Bluey.
Thursday night is
Ernie,
Law and Order.
Heavy. So he can't even take it through airports.
Yeah, Thursday night is Law and Order.
Oh, my point.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't even take it on his private jet.
Exactly.
It's too heavy. But no one carries. Look how heavy that thing is.
Who carries a private television?
He does. He was a Kenny. You got to get two of these.
And it's 8K.
Why you need two of them?
Because it's 8K.
There it is.
That's awesome. I want it.
There's another one that they have that I've seen where you can actually. So let's just say you're out in Illinois.
Yeah,
it's on wheels, and you can actually roll it around the house and anywhere, and then it can go from portrait to landscape. And by the way, once again, Zuckerfuck, thanks for kicking us off Facebook.
Yeah, they didn't kick me. They didn't kick it off my page the last time.
Yeah, they did today. All of us, so we're right now. Yep.
Get rid of that. I don't care. It's all public domain, dummies.
Sure.
Again, it's some AI idiot in there. Yeah, I just saw all three. Yep. I'm looking at like a fucking Star Trek red alert is going off.
Exactly.
Anyway, prepare for battle. All right, more just for that. Let's scroll up a couple more. And this was earlier when they were outside in the studio after Ernie made the speech. But NBA TNT, instead of kissing the donkey everywhere, blah 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 blah. You hear anywhere, I should say. Nice conversation here.
And my favorite moment is when Chuck had never seen Yao Ming play. He was a rookie. And he said, Yao Ming will never score 20 points in a game, Kenny, and if he does, I'll kiss your
ass.
And so
there's
children here. So no, but again,
it's another name for a donkey.
Right. So I had to think outside the box. So I bought in a donkey. after Yao Ming scored 20 points. And Charles had to kiss the donkey. But instead of kissing a donkey anywhere because it isn't big, and a donkey isn't ass, he actually kissed the donkey on the ass. So that's what made it.
There it is, as a matter of fact.
He didn't have to kiss it there.
Could have kissed that thing right on the forehead.
I'm not going to kiss it on the forehead.
I'm not going to kiss
Auburn
an animal
education.
on the lip.
No, on the forehead. But you're going to kiss it on his butt?
I'm not going to kiss unless it's a dog. You can kiss a dog, but not another animal.
Oh, the rules.
But the butt is better?
Yeah.
Oh man, unbelievable. So yeah, that's all the highlights and I guess some lowlights of what has been going on with TNT. Those guys do a great job. As I said, it's the best studio hosts of all time in any sports. It's not even a close second. The pregame, halftime, and postgame show on NBA on TNT over the years has been by far head and shoulders above any other type in any sport of a pre-postgame, or pre-halftime and postgame show. Absolutely phenomenal. No one could ever duplicate it. You would think ESPN could have taken some hints from them over the years, because ESPN has got one of the worst pregame, halftime. The halftime is the worst by far. Their halftime show is absolutely flooded with commercials, not a whole lot of analysis. I can't stand when they cut away. They come back from 5 minutes of commercials. Somebody will say something for 20 seconds that everybody knows, and then they go back for another 5 minutes of commercials. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right, let's see what else. If we could scroll right above that, Angel, on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams. Yesterday, we told you about Shedeur Sanders visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I thought was interesting. And Shedeur Sanders on visiting the Steelers yesterday on the Up and Adams show. Kay.
I feel like you've had a long, eventful day as you're coming to me from Pittsburgh's airport. You get to the facility. What is the first thing that happens? Then what?
You see everything. I enjoyed my time in Pittsburgh. I think I connected well with all the coaches, and it was real fun.
What's the one takeaway you had from the time you spent with Coach Tomlin?
I understand the mindset and why they win a lot.
Why do they win a lot?
Just how he is as a person, and just the values that the team has, and what he preaches from his staff down is similar to like my dad.
Okay, if you were to give yourself like a grade on how it went, because it's kind of like a job interview, right? You want to make sure you like it, they like you. What grade would you give yourself?
It was a 10. It was a 10.
Okay. I love that. What was like your favorite part? What was the best part of the day?
Of course, talking football. Talking football is my favorite part. And just really just getting to know each other. That's it.
I mean, I've seen what you can do with the 1-11 team. Is it even fair? Should you be allowed to go to a 10-win team like the Steelers?
That's on the people. That's on the other franchises that make that mistake and let me go there.
I don't like that question.
Mm-hmm. Did Aaron Rodgers come up? Who brought him up? You or them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Nah, we ain't talking about nothing about that.
Okay. How would you feel about sitting behind a vet to start your career? Would you be okay with that?
No.
If that's the way that things play out, then that's how it play out.
Nope.
I've talked.
I wouldn't question what God has planned for me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
God's plan is going to be severely altered if the Steelers succumb and take Aaron Rodgers, and that will, so I guess God going through the eyes of Aaron Rodgers or in the brain of Aaron Rodgers, God forbid, I do not know. There was a debate on ESPN radio yesterday about trading Watt to San Francisco, which was I just for either Trevor or for Purdy, and there was another thing about would you deal him for Trevor? That's stupid stuff.
Right.
It's Aaron Rodgers still. We'll see. Again, the Steelers don't pick till 21, so they'd have to make a major move up in order to get Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people have him dropping as far as 9th, going to New Orleans. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm not going to be shocked, but I still think, the Giants are in play here. The Browns are in play here. The Travis Hunter thing, too. I mean, it's going to be really, really interesting. We are just 13 days away from the start of the NFL draft. Last night, before we go to break, in the Frozen Four, the first game went into double overtime. It was 2-0 Western Michigan. The Broncos had 2-0 on defending national champion, the Denver Pioneers. And then Denver tied it up, and it went into double OT.
Denver winning 3-2 in double overtime. Someone's going to win this game 3-2, possibly in double overtime. Mike goes for the win. He scores! Owen Michaels is the hero for Western Michigan.
All of the check marks to make sure that this is a good goal, and I do expect it to be a good goal.
And it was a good goal. And by NCAA rules in hockey, for an overtime game of the Frozen Four, they have to go back and check everything, make sure everybody was on side, and do everything the right way. But it absolutely was. Owen Michaels scored his second goal 26 seconds into double overtime, and Western Michigan beat the defending champion Denver Pioneers 3-2 on Thursday night. They advanced to the Frozen Four. And later on in the other semifinal, it was Boston University. Got second period goals from Jack Hughes and Cole Iserman and a freshman goalie. We've been talking about him with several of my guests all year long. Mikhail Yegorov stopped 32 shots for the Terriers, who lost in the semis in each of the last 2 years. Jake Harvey added an empty netter with a minute left. The Terriers, five-time champs, seek to its first title since beating Miami of Ohio in 2009. BU fell to Providence in the last title game. My Friars won it back in 2015. Actually, that was 10 years ago today. So Jay Pandolfo doing a great job. He's been to a whole bunch of Frozen Fours as a player and a coach. So congratulations to BU beating Penn State. Congratulations to Western Michigan. Those two will go at it on Saturday night in St. Louis, I think at 8 o'clock for all the marbles. Anyway, all right. Quick break. When we come back, more shenanigans, more video, and some fun stuff coming up with Sheila Book at the bottom of the hour. Great radio and voiceover personality. I want to tell you, for the best articles and audio, there's only one source that provides everything you need 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff combing through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them at info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. You see it right there if you're watching. Info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. All right, it's the Pete Sheppard Show, continuing here on a Friday, hour number 2, next here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/one small step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So, wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You want the best in sports and entertainment? You got it. Now back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Sandlin again, a 2-2. Little dribbler on the infield. Jimenez with a bottle! And the Sox have won it. A Gold Glover at second base, and he muffed it. And the Red Sox win the game 4-3.
Thanks. Dave O'Brien with a call on Nesson yesterday. Welcome back to Pete Sheppard Show here on a Friday. The phone number is always 727-858-6650. Hang on, talk amongst yourselves. I got to shut the door.
All right. By the way, Zuckerfuck, expect a nice little scaling leather for me since you clowns don't know.
I already said it. So I just put it's a public domain. I don't even bother. It's not worth it. I just put it's a public domain. It'll be back in a minute. They're just whatever. I don't understand. It can't be a human being. It's got to be an AI. There's going to be trigger words or something, or that make that happen. It's just ridiculous because we don't get thrown off any other video platform that we're on, and it only happens, it seems, when we play the TNT stuff. I don't get it. It's all public domain. It's all free. And kiss my ass. You know, it'll be back. You know, we have other outlets. Anyway, welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. And thanks for checking us out, checking me out at Twitter at PShep326 and on Twitter and X, and occasionally on the Facebook pages, usually. On CSN Florida, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, LinkedIn, and on the SR 1029 The Game app, as you can see right up there. Red Sox win a much-needed win yesterday, 4-3, a little nubber. David Hamilton scores a pinch runner, and the Red Sox get back on track and win 4-3. Sheila Book coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get into some entertaining stuff with her. The Masters is going on in the leaderboard. Whoop, hang on a second. She said, when I do a Masters update, there's only one way to do a Masters update. It's got to be done the right way. It's just a continuous loop I have going. I actually have an hour and 2 minutes and 54 seconds of Masters music. So, the second round is underway. Still, the leaderboard has Justin Rose on top. Arberg is 4 under, along with Connors and Scotty Scheffler. Shot a bogey-free round yesterday, so 3 shots still in the lead for Rose. And DeChambeau, Hatton, Basha, Rye, Hatton and DeChambeau are 4 strokes back at 3 under, and a bunch of people at 2 under. So, anyway, there's your Masters update. We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted. All right. I was looking at a message. A.J. Brown spoke to college students at Miami University, telling them not to chase the money, but a better version of themselves. How about that? How very profound. Back here on the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. Now I have to go mute. Got like 8 windows open here, Angel. I need more hands.
Well, welcome to the show. That's exactly what I need over here is a bunch of new hands.
Someone in this industry once told me, Pete, I don't know how you do it. Because I think I do the job of like 3 people. Angel does the job of like 7 people. But together, we do the job of 10 people, yet we're only 2.
That's right. By the way, for those who don't know, as you guys hear Pete talking about it all the time, you guys can always watch the live show via the app that Pete mentions on sr1029thegame.com. You guys can download it that way. Not only that, but you can always go to the website and watch it under the Pete Sheppard Show. Just go under the starting lineup and look under the Pete Sheppard Show. Anything that we do live remains there live. We don't get cut off or anywhere else. Why? Because I make it available so you guys can watch the entire thing live. And come next week, hopefully, depending how the weekend goes here, what I'm going to start doing is archiving these shows Monday through Friday, along with the audio below it. Therefore, if you guys, sometimes YouTube every once in a while will, because of the music that's played, they say it's not available in other countries, and sometimes they'll knock it off there. So you guys can watch the entire uninterrupted version of the live shows. Always go over to sr1029thegame.com. So that is your PSA for today. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And now
Awesome. Yes. Fantastic. Get to a little bit of NFL news here. Because really, it's been kind of besides the Masters, it's kind of a slow day. And trust me, if Sheila wasn't coming on at the bottom of the hour, we'd be done. But because there's only so much you can talk about. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. But there's always NFL news to talk about. I still think it's interesting. Shedeur Sanders ended up in Pittsburgh yesterday. Although, again, the Steelers are picking at number 21. Unless they make a major move, Shedeur Sanders, unless there's an Aaron Rodgers moment back in the day, ain't going to fall to 21. I highly doubt it, not in this day and age. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, did you see this? Been rehabbing after re-tearing his right Achilles tendon, diagnosis that could sideline him for much of this coming season. In a video posted on Instagram, though, he said on Wednesday, which documents his rehab at the Browns practice facility, Watson said, quote, "Everyone's doubting me. Everyone don't believe in me. Everyone don't think that I can get back to where I was. But I know and I believe the work that I put in, what I believe in myself, the peace that I've been channeling these last couple of months. I know I'm going to be way better than before."
But you just
No, you're not. No, you're not. You are sitting there with the worst contract in the history of professional sports. And that's saying a lot. This a week comes his comments after Browns co-owner Jimmy Haslam's admission at the NFL annual meeting that his team's trade for Watson in March of 22 was, quote, a swing and a miss. Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo.
Baker Mayfield continues to evolve with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Cleveland.
Meanwhile, here's Sam Ocho yesterday on NFL Live talking about Shedeur Sanders and why he'd be a good fit in Cleveland.
Different players being tied to the Browns with that number 2 pick. Assuming the Titans draft Cam Ward first overall, should Cleveland get Shedeur Sanders?
Yes, full stop. They should absolutely get Shedeur Sanders. This Cleveland Browns team, let's start with their defense. A few years ago, they had the number 1 ranked defense. What do they not have? A quarterback. You have Kevin Stefanski, who's been a 2-time coach of the year. Now, what is he doing this year? Taking over play calling duties again. We've seen in years past this offense be effective with on-time throws, right? Yes, the play action works, but this offense is based off of timing, not necessarily targeting one specific receiver, but having the vision to be able to see the field. That's what Shedeur Sanders does best. He throws it on time. He can see the field, very cerebral, understands the game. I think it's a perfect fit for the Cleveland Browns, especially if they'll have the defense. Now you have the quarterback.
All right, I'm just editing. Shut up! I'm just editing the Facebook post. I forgot to add the pictures today. And those of you might be wondering, if you look at my Facebook page, Angel, if you could punch up the picture on my Facebook page, it says Peter Sheppard. I want to explain this. This was something pretty cool. I'll let you punch up the picture first, there, Angel. While you're doing that. More NFL news. Former Texas wide receiver and NFL draft prospect Isaiah Bond turned himself in on an outstanding sexual assault warrant yesterday morning. That's according to the Frisco, Texas Police Department. He was subsequently released from the Collin County Jail after posting a bail at $25,000. So anyway, so check this picture out. My friends who live across the street, Rob and Kim, they are on a great cruise and trip. And they sent this to me the other day. This is in Australia. How about that? Look at that.
I was wondering. I
Peter
thought
Sheppard store.
I thought maybe somebody was like, wow, did they take Pete's name and put some Blackhawk logos up there and added some arts and crafts behind it? Because I was trying to figure out too.
Well, I didn't know. I guess it's a shoe basically in pocketbook store. If you magnify the picture, you can see what's in very upper crust, because that's how I roll with my shoes. And there's one, if you click one of the signs says our Spanish collection.
Oh, see.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of leaves on the top. But if you zoom in, you see my staff is very,
Yeah, I see them hard at work.
Absolutely no cell phones. You get fired. No second chances in my place.
No
You're
hoodies.
out. No, you're out. One cell phone call, unless it's an absolute emergency, you're out. But look at the shoes. I mean, I supply the people of Australia with some great stuff. I really do. I mean, look at the craftsmanship on the shoes and the handbags.
Yes, I see.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Let's see. Well, we can't make it any super bigger than that, but wow, check that out.
See, that says it's Spanish collection. See that? I make sure. That's new. That's new in my store.
Oh, wow, that's good. So now when they come into the store, Los Zapatos de Pete Sheppard is available to you in cual site tú quieres.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Also yesterday in the NFL, the Colts moved on from kicker Matt Gay. He arrived in Indy in Oh, Jesus, what the hell?
What the hell is that?
Bunch of notepads just fell off the side of my office here. Scared me. Gay arrived in Indy in 2023, a free agent to much fanfare after winning a Super Bowl and making a Pro Bowl with the Rams. You might remember the Colts lured him to Indianapolis with a 4-year deal worth $22.5 million at the time, the most lucrative contract given to a free agent kicker. But the move never really paid off for the Colts, with Gay converting only 82.1% of his field goal attempts, 64 of 78 during the past 2 years, including a shocking 50% success rate on attempts of 50 yards or longer, only 11 of 22. Before his time with the Colts, Gay converted 17 of 23 attempts from 50 yards and beyond, 74%, including 12 of 15 in the 3 years with the Rams. So he is gone. College football news. Hang on a second. The Miami Hurricanes have their spring game today Today, tomorrow, it'll be on campus. It'll be on campus. So, and it's free, from what I understand, and I think parking is free as well. If you can get there, should be a lot of fun. Angel said USF spring game is going to be next week.
See, and it's not free.
It's not free.
No, it's $10.
Is that Ray J?
No, it's at Corbett Stadium, but they're doing it's not $10 just because of they feel like charging $10. There's a theme and stuff going behind it, and also another thing in addition to it. But they're going to have food trucks up there as well, which I think it's going to be the first time they're doing it over at as far as outside the venue. So there's going to be some food trucks, a little bit of entertainment. So $10 at the gate, $5 in advance if you purchase it. And I do believe also with the food truck, not that the food is included, but the area where the food trucks are going to be is also part of that price there. But I don't think they're charging a whole bunch either for the food from what I understand and what I gather. I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of teams that are having their spring games this weekend, most notably Miami, Florida, and Georgia. So I'm going to begin a little bit here for a few minutes before Sheila comes on with the as also, I mean, look at this. There's a lot more than I thought going on. Louisville has theirs. Actually, theirs is tonight at 6:00. How about that? Wow. Louisville plays their spring game tonight at 6. Virginia plays tomorrow at noon. The Gators play tomorrow at 1 p.m. Georgia on tomorrow as well at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Georgia Tech also 1 o'clock. ACC Network. Pittsburgh is at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Jesus, that could be cold. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Vanderbilt tomorrow as well at 1 p.m. Tennessee tomorrow at 2 p.m. Syracuse at 3 p.m., but that will probably be, I'm sure, will be inside. Virginia Tech tomorrow at 3 p.m. And the Hurricanes tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. So the big story there will be, can the defense obviously get things turned around? Lance Guidry is gone, and new coordinator Corey Heatherman talking over with sights set on a far more dominant unit, and because they were lit up last year, particularly in the second half. They could not stop a runny nose. It was awful. They got star defensive lineman Ruben Bain healthy, which is huge. Remember, he went down. He is a big, huge, gigantic man. He'll be playing on Sundays, and hopefully he'll be healthy. Breakout freshman, O.J. Frederick Jr. returns, but most of the rest of the defensive back room gets a fresh start with transfers Ethan O'Connor from Washington State, Charles Brantley from Michigan State, and Zachariah Poyer from Jacksonville State, and Xavier Lucas from Wisconsin. Said, screw that, not playing in that cold weather anymore, come down here. Arriving with some big-time hype. And along with blue chip freshman Bryce Fitzgerald, among others, Miami's DBs were a mess, as you know, down the stretch last season, in part due to talent, in part due to injuries. A lot of it actually due to injuries. Carson Beck, transferring from Georgia, is not going to be ready. He's rehabbing from his elbow surgery, hasn't thrown this spring at all. Instead, they'll look to Bain as a true freshman in 2023, was a force of nature on Miami's defensive line. That's the guy you're going to be looking at as well. And Luke Nickel, I told you, this kid out of Georgia. I can't remember which city he's from. It's like Alouette or Alouette, Georgia. But that's the freshman, the true freshman, 18 years old. Watch for him tomorrow. That kid is a dual threat quarterback. And if Carson Beck can't go, I think this kid's going to be more than able. I can't wait to see him. Emory Williams will play tomorrow as well for the Hurricanes. So that would be pretty cool. Be looking out for that. Love that we're talking about college football already. It's great. It's not too far away. August 31st. I think it's the 30th that it starts. But
it comes around real quick. You figure USF football has already started practice 2 weeks ago. This is week number 3 now for them, and it comes around before you know, because then after the spring game, then they're off for a couple of weeks. The guys go home, because obviously school will be over, and they come back a few weeks later to get the season going. So it's amazing how quick college football comes around. It's just as quick as the NFL.
Yeah, it's actually, as far as regular season games, quicker because it starts in late August. NFL started late August one time, too. I remember the Patriots blowing out the Chargers like 41-0, and it was like 100 degrees in Foxborough. But Anyway,
I mean,
they
soon
don't do that anymore. They may have to if they start expanding these playoffs.
Yeah, well, not even the playoffs. They're also if they're going to be adding week 18 as well. So that's going to be the other thing.
That's going to be difficult to pass. But you know what? Money talks.
Sure
It is what it is. It is what it is. As far as the Gators go, Billy Napier completely flipping the narrative. How many times last year did we talk about? Now, we knew they're going to have, the Gators had, as far as I'm concerned, the toughest schedule in the history of college football last year. Saw it firsthand when Miami crushed them, was it 41-7, whatever it was, crushed them in Gainesville last August. And it just seemed to get progressively worse for the Gators, but they really did. He did flip the narrative, and they ended up with it. I thought they'd go 7-5. They won the bowl game. Remember, they beat Mississippi, and Jackson Dart had it. He was disheveled. He didn't know what to do. And Florida really gave Mississippi a beating. Lane Kiffin was like, his look on the face just stone cold on the sideline. So the upset number 22 LSU, and then number 9 Ole Miss, and DJ Lagway, who's going to be an excellent quarterback. You could see the signs last year when he was playing 6-1 as a starter as a freshman, veteran offensive line. Lagway last year threw for 1,915 yards, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I guarantee he does better in both of those categories this year. He's been limited throughout spring practice because of a shoulder and lower body injury and he will not play tomorrow. Won't play. Florida will play another brutal schedule, as most of the SEC does in 2025. Road games at LSU against the Hurricanes here at Hard Rock, Texas A&M and Ole Miss, and a neutral site contest against Georgia, which they always do, the greatest cocktail party ever. Dependable targets on the perimeter will be focusing on Elijah Badger, top receivers. Elijah Badger and Chimere Dyke departed for the NFL. And Eugene Wilson III is coming back from a season-ending hip injury. Also receivers Vernell Brown III, Dallas Wilson, and Nashawn Montgomery, 3 of Florida's highest-ranked signees. And J. Michael Sturdivant from UCLA was the top pass catcher in the portal. He joins the Gators. Florida's strength coach called linebacker Aaron Childs an alien before his freshman season because of his exceptional work in the weight room. With Shamar Jones leaving for the NFL draft, Childs and Miles Graham, they get a chance to make an impact on the defense this season. So Graham had 30 tackles and a sack in 2024. Childs had 23 tackles with 1 sack. There you go. There's your little college football preview. All right, Angel, let's take one more quick break. When we come back, Sheila Book is going to join me, longtime radio host, entertainer, and voiceover specialist. She will join me next here on the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Back here, final segment of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a Freaky Friday. Respect my authority edition. God damn it. Real quick, breaking news in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns and veteran quarterback Joe Flacco. He's still around, man. Reached an agreement today, 1-year, $4 million deal worth up to $13 million with incentives. Flacco now will return to Cleveland, where he won the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year award back in 2023. Should have kept him instead of that signing that stiff swing and miss to Sean Watson, who's making $800 million to do nothing. Sit there and bitch and moan and kvetch. But someone who doesn't bitch and moan and kvetch ever is the lovely and talented one and only Sheila Book joining me, longtime radio personality, voiceover artist, and just a swell gal from Ohio.
Swell. Can you hear me? You can't even hear me. Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can see you. You look great this morning. What's your shirt say? What's that?
Dude.
Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't beat mine.
What's your say? I can't. What's it say?
Respect my authority.
No, it's respect my authority.
Get me down from here.
Yeah. See? Here.
Is that Joe?
Oh, hell no. He's fatter than that. He's way fatter than that, man. He's on a diet.
No. A diet of Sheila Love.
Yeah,
Um,
wrong. So I haven't spoken to you in forever. What's happening?
no, nothing. Good stuff. I'm catching up on The Handmaid's Tale. Have you watched that series at all on Hulu?
Yeah, I started watching it when it first came out, and then I stopped because it was just too intense.
Yeah. It gets more intense. I mean, the sexual stuff and it's definitely well acted. They took almost 2 years off before season 6 came out,
Yeah,
the final
yeah.
season. So they released the first 3 episodes. I watched 2 of the first 3, and don't miss it. It doesn't miss a beat. It's very well done. It's very well written. But,
We've been watching. Oh, Black Mirror just came out. Have you
I
watched
haven't seen
that?
that. I heard good things about that.
Oh, the first episode is all we've watched so far.
What's that about?
It is really freaky. So just watch it and know that it's gonna mess with your mind. I don't
Okay.
want to give it away. I don't want to give it away, but I did watch half of Wicked too.
Okay.
Netflix? Yeah, I think it's either Netflix or
Black
Hulu.
Marriage. That's Black Marriage. That's Angel
Mirror, not Marriage.
Black Mirror. But that's the one that changes the stories every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like an updated Twilight Zone type
Yeah.
of show, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember we talked about this years ago when it first came out, and I did watch, and I like the fact that it's not. You don't need to binge watch it because every show is different, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's no picking it up from but one that you will want to watch. Have you watched Yellowstone?
No, and it's another one. I know it's excellent. Kevin Costner, right? I mean, I know it's got great reviews. It's just I can't watch everything. I try.
Oh, you can't too. Well, I guess you'd have to cut out some of the sports, and that's not a good thing for you, man.
No, not usually. Sometimes it can be.
Mm.
I need a break after my games, especially like I like days like tonight where, after 10 o'clock when the Red Sox and Celtics for me are done and the rest of the NBA, and then I can resume my binge watching of some of my shows that I love. But I'm such a foodie. I watch so many Food Network shows and everything else. I didn't go back and rewatch some of the old Hell's Kitchens and the people that I know who've won. And I go back and really study them, how they got to the finals and won. It's really cool to watch it a second time. And plus, I love Gordon. But I wanted to ask you so tell me about Wicked. I saw it. Too much music for me.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't like it. I couldn't go all the way through it. Joe really likes it.
You know what? Put the last 5 minutes on. That last 5 minutes actually when she really becomes the Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay, cool.
Go watch. Actually, I put the last 10 minutes on.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. There's some singing in it, but there's also violence and there's betrayal.
See, I love that. And the music stuff, I don't mind. Like, I like a sound of music, but this was just way overboard for me. I just felt like there was just too much, and I didn't need it to be told the story. But I
It's
know
not the
that.
music, you know what you're getting. The
Right.
title says it all. I mean,
Right.
obviously it's the Nazi. I mean, there's a lot of political stuff behind it, war and all that stuff. But Sound of Music, like I know I'm getting a musical.
Yeah.
I don't like going to movies to see musicals. Like I never went to see Chicago. I like musicals going to the theater. I like that. It doesn't bother. I mean, I love Cats. I love Phantom of the Opera. Les Mis.
Oh, Phantom of the Opera is great.
Yeah, I've seen all of those live in the theater. But to go watch it in a movie, no.
Right. I don't want to. I want that intermission where I can only get up then and be encaptured by the whole essence of the theater itself. You don't have to, I can't watch it at home. Maybe if I had seen Wicked in a short capsule version, I'd be okay. But 15 hours of Wicked or whatever the hell long it is, it's just too much for me.
It's actually, if you want to really read the book is excellent.
I love reading, yes.
Yeah, I know you do. You'd be great. You doing the voiceover stuff. You do voiceovers and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, the book is excellent because it's really, they're stepsisters or whatever, and then just because she was born green.
That would be kind of fun, though, to be born green.
You
could be Shrek.
Me? I don't want to be Shrek. Maybe about 25 years ago when I was about 80 pounds heavier. I just want to be me.
You are. You're you. You're you.
I'll tell you who I hate, that prissy little bitch who played Snow White. And it's
What?
not because the one in the new Snow White movie that's failing miserably.
Oh, I refuse to watch that shit.
Oh, it's not. Here's why. Here's why I won't watch it. And I'm not like that. I'm not one of those people who gets all political about this actor or that actor. It's not about the fact that she's not, white skin per se, that she's brown or anything else. It's her attitude as far as, women in this day, the Snow White, she wants to rewrite history, rewrite fairy tales. All right, sweetheart, let me tell you this. You want to do that? Why don't you go play Cinderella, the real Cinderella, and go look at Grimm's fairy tales and go see what happens. You want to be Little Red Riding Hood in those fairy tales? You want to rewrite those? Go ahead. They all get mutilated, you know, and even the original. I mean, she wants to rewrite Hollywood, like rewrite what happened in the You can't. I mean, that's what makes fairy tales. Fairy tales. I don't know why. Well, she's not going to be following, this Snow White won't be following Prince Charming around. No one's thinking about that. It's a fucking fairy tale, sweetheart.
He's supposed to be there for her.
So guess what? You know what? She'd probably be the same person to Jack and the Beanstalk. Don't chop down the beanstalk. Giants have rights too. I mean, you can't be doing that. You can't rewrite fairy tales because you're a feminist or whatever you are. Look, my God. I mean, look, the Constitution and gun rights was written from muskets back in the day. That hasn't changed. And she wants to rewrite fairy tales.
Well, how about all the history books that they're rewriting just willy-nilly? I mean,
not so much rewriting, eliminating.
Yes.
Eliminating history.
Rewriting, eliminating all of it, just telling you how they feel it should have been. Or I think that didn't,
facts. I mean, my
that
God.
didn't happen.
I mean, my God, I can't even imagine. I remember my freshman or sophomore year in high school, and we saw a film on the Holocaust, and this is way before Schindler's List and everything else. And man, it was about 20 minutes because it was class is like 40 minutes, and we watched this 20-minute film, and I'll tell you, it was. I'll never forget it. It just nobody could move. You could hear a pin drop in my class in history class, and it's
depressing.
I didn't hit that, and I can't. I mean, but you don't want to repeat history. I mean, there's just the most maybe horrific thing in history was that, and it really got to me as a 14-year-old. I can't imagine not seeing those images even before Schindler's List came out and everything else, and the horror that went on, and some of the people out there still don't believe that it actually happened, which is just mind-blowing.
Right. I mean, and if you don't recall the past, you're condemned to repeat it over and over and over.
Yep.
So I don't understand why people want to pretend like none of this happened. I mean, why did they take away the Disney movie Song of the South?
Oh, I know, with Brer Rabbit and
Brer Fox, Brer Bear.
I loved it. A little too much music in that too, even when I was a kid. But who could forget Uncle Remus? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity.
And that's what Uncle Remus said. It was.
I saw that when I was 6 years old. I didn't come out with any racial. Wow.
No.
Maybe there was some of that. I don't even remember. I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's just like a fun type of movie. I mean, I don't know.
I have it on VHS.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe actually bought that for me for Christmas one year from Australia and had it converted from PAL to what we have. And I've got that. And I don't feel like it's racial. And I see it that way because that was a time that it was depicting. It didn't, and you want to pretend like it didn't happen.
But and getting back to the cartoon thing, and getting back to that girl who wants to, I don't even like, I don't know her name, I forget her name, but she wants to go back and rewrite fairy tales. I mean, stop it. Go read the real fairy tales in the books. Go read the real Wizard of Oz. Go find out how the Tin Man became the Tin Man. He was freaking mutilated.
Yeah.
The Wicked Witch cut off his limbs.
Yeah. Yeah. The original book.
Yeah,
the original book is crazy, and you just kind of wonder how they got this nice, mild story out of that book.
And that movie still holds up. It still does. The 1939 still holds up to this day. It used to be really special. Remember when The Wizard of Oz was on once a year, usually in early March or late March, I can't remember. It was a Friday night. You wait all day in school. You'd be in elementary school. And maybe you get to eat in front of the TV that night. And it It was like a holiday.
Yeah.
Nobody went out. Everybody went home and watched The Wizard of Oz once a year. And,
Those monkeys scared the crap out of me. I was terrified of them, and I still think they're cool to this day, but still, the
Yeah.
feeling you got from some of the movies we got to see back in the day were just took
Now,
you.
they're doing an animation that's coming out coming out this week. And it's about, again, a father trying to explain. It's all animated. It looks like incredible animation, but the guy's trying to explain to his little boy about Jesus and the whole story. And I'm thinking, how is this going to play with little children who go to see this movie if they really show the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ and how violent and unbelievable it is? I'm like, this is going to be an animated. I mean, there's plenty of there's Jesus of Nazareth. There's tons of Jesus movies out there, and I think they're all really good. I've seen all of them. Not because I'm a religious zealot over the top, but that kind of stuff fascinates me. Passion of the Christ, who could forget that? Mel Gibson and
It's all history. It's all history.
How are they going to make? I've only seen a little clip from the beginning, but it goes through the history of Jesus, and I'm like, how are they going to do this if they take it all the way through?
Wow.
How's some 4-year-old watching this 5-year-old, and if they really tell it properly through animation, are they going to show, Jesus, died for our sins and then the resurrection? I'm wondering how they're going to do that.
Well, here's something I saw. What's that? Oriental Trading Company. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah.
I saw advertised, I think it was cardboard, a big cardboard rock and a cave, a tomb.
Yeah.
That you could roll the rock away for the upcoming Easter holiday, that you could buy this for your kid. And I'm thinking, what kid is going to play with this? What are you doing? You're going to stand there and roll the rock away. And what the hell? Oh.
Has there ever been a more failed quote unquote toy? And I'm proud to say I was asked if I wanted one when I was a kid and never asked. Pet rock. I never understood it. Whoever thought of it and got money off of it is a genius. Who the fuck goes out and buys a rock?
Right.
Who buys a stone? A pet rock.
Right. And puts a rope around it and drags it along. Yeah. I mean, okay, that's a good imagination.
Unbelievable. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. The story wouldn't come up, but here's the headline, because it's one of those this is from the Daily Mail. The headline from this guy: I've seen proof that death is not the end. These are the 7 levels of heaven and the horrors in store for selfish people. And it won't come up. He said, I was an atheist, but I've seen proof that heaven and hell are real. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay. Tell me more.
I wish I could delve more into the story, but I'm not paying for the Daily Mail. The other thing, getting back to Disney, because I've been watching Daredevil, which is really Daredevil Reborn, which is a Disney production. And they MF and curse like you cannot believe. I am stunned. It's a Disney production, but it's awesome. It's a great, great, good adult comic book series with Matt Murdock, who's got blind, which they don't get into the origins and all that stuff. It starts like when he's as a lawyer, and it's been a few years, and he and Kingpin, who's now the mayor of New York, are still, he kind of goes into retirement, Daredevil, and then comes out. But the violence, the blood, the lacerations, decapitations, police officer being thrown in front of a train. Unbelievable. The language is, I love it. But geez, a Disney production. I'm stunned.
It's fun to do that kind of stuff. I did a cartoon. It was, I was the psychologist. I played the psychologist for these misfit group of cartoon characters that were cussers and weirdos, and I had to be their psychologist. So after their first, they were so messed up. After their first session with each of them, my character shoots herself in the head because she can't take them.
So you're kind of like Dr. Melfi in The Sopranos,
Yeah.
So what was the cartoon? How can we? Is it available?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So
he's still working on it. Actually, I'm going home again in a couple weeks, and
Your original home in Ohio.
yeah, up north, and they're having a showing of this in the theater, so I might get to go. I don't know. We'll
Well, I
see.
mean, I want to see it. Can you give the name? What it's the name of the cartoon?
I can't remember what he's calling it. It's got a snappy little name, but
And you know, is it real life? Is it you like your looks on the animation?
I don't think so. But I have a doctor's coat on, and I'll
Yeah.
pull up that picture and show it to you sometime.
Yeah, definitely. That's
It's
awesome.
good, but it was really fun, and it was like a couple years ago we did this, and he's shopping it around. So
Wow.
yeah.
Did you see a couple of weeks ago on? I don't know if you still watch Family Guy every now and then, but the newer episodes. Did you see what they did a couple of weeks ago?
No, what happened?
It was fantastic. I have a lot of friends at Barstool Sports. So Dave Portnoy, El Prez, he does the pizza reviews and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, anyway, the beginning of the show, Lois finds an old Easy Bake Oven, which I bet you had, like my sister did.
No, I did not.
You
Damn
did?
it.
And it came with everything was cooked by the little tiny light bulb.
Yeah.
And there's some awful little cake mix my sister made. Well, you'd add water or something, and it would bake and taste like cardboard for.
Yeah.
But every girl I knew had one. Anyway, Stewie,
Was she your girlfriend?
Who?
The Easy Bake Oven owner.
No.
No? Okay,
No,
okay.
my sister had it, and
Okay.
it seemed like useless to me. But she liked using it from time to time with the little light bulb. Anyway, Lois is cleaning out, finds an Easy Bake Oven. Stewie becomes obsessed with it, and one thing, the light bulb wouldn't work, so I had to go to Herbert the pedophile and steal a little light bulb from his house. He and Chris went over and stole a light bulb. So he gets it going, and he starts making little tiny, little small tiny pizzas. And David Portnoy does a pizza review for it because it was hysterical. And he gives it a thumb. He gives it. Stewie gives him the pizza, and it becomes like a big thing. And his image is on the screen. It's great. I don't think it was Dave's voice, but I thought it was absolutely hysterical. When you see the episode, if you go, it's like 3 episodes ago. If you go back and watch it.
I will do that today. I only have slated to finish writing this book and then do nothing but have a beer, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Last thing, I'm looking at this story that came out.
Oh, wait. First, I got to ask you something, though.
Yeah.
Did you ever have creepy crawlers?
I did. I didn't care for them. They didn't do it for me. I liked, instead of creepy crawlers, I liked, what was the squirmel? What was the orange thing? You had like the invisible string, and it was like an orange worm. Wasn't it a squirmel? And
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was around the time of the worms you're talking about. The
Worms I'm talking about. Well,
Is that the one you made them? You made the creepy crawlers?
Yeah, in a little oven. That's what you were talking about,
Yeah.
Easy Bake Oven, and Mom and I would sit down and make the creepy crawlers together, and she put a pin in one of them so I could wear my spider, on my chest. I had a strange childhood. I loved it. It was wonderful.
No, I was the kind that had the Evil Knievel and it had the van and
Oh yeah, the
jump over.
jumping motorcycle thing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Took that to show and tell in first grade and brought the house down. Lines of kids. I went up this big hill. Lines of kids all the way down because I was the only one in class that had, and
I loved that thing.
Oh man!
Until it got stuck in my hair.
That is smash up derby. You take the
Yeah, the little pull
and
string.
let it go. Yeah, and just smash cars all over the house. My parents would trip all over the stuff and get yelled at.
We had that. What is it? Race cars that you had the gun.
Yeah, and you click it and would switch lanes. Except that those games were like $60, $70 back then, and they never worked right. They'd last for like one lap before it would go off track. There was one that's called slot races. You could actually change the lane by clicking it. That never worked right either.
Mine did.
Did it?
Until the cat liked to play with it and catch the cars, just watch them go around and bam. It's like, oh, okay, that one's out for a minute.
You people,
I grew up like a little boy, kind of,
You young
Oh, wait, that was back That was only 10 years ago that I did the car thing. What? Never mind.
I bet you see you young whippersnappers with your Rubik's cubes
Get
and
off my lawn.
your Etch-a-Sketches.
Oh my God, I loved Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah,
We
I
had
wasn't good
great
at it.
toys growing up, but we did have some dangerous ones like those. I think they were called clackers. They were these really two hard balls on the end of a string that in the middle you just took and
Yeah.
kind of
How about
whacked them
darts?
together.
How about the lawn darts? Yeah, they were
Those are great.
Those were weapons. I mean,
They stopped selling them, but I don't think they should have because honestly, that's what us hillbillies played to thin the herd. You know, come here, Johnny. We're gonna play some darts.
and then your buddy would stay in the circle, the little plastic circle, right? And
Stand
try
right
not to
there.
get hit.
Yeah, stand like this.
As you get impaled through the chest, like some Game of Thrones scene. Jesus.
Right. I mean, that is the best way to play darts, and I'm really upset that they stopped making them.
Playing chicken darts in Ohio. Good Lord.
Oh, it's chicken. They just stood there.
Yeah.
They were not the chickens. They were not.
No, I know. I mean, but just,
I know what you're saying, but I
Yeah.
mean, they were the ones not
a lot
moving.
of guts. A lot
Woo!
of,
Yeah, it was a good time at my family's get-togethers. I have
There's
great stories.
That's awesome. And finally, there's a recent study that came out, home sale prices to calculate monthly mortgage payments for every state and the District of Columbia, and worked out what annual salary would be needed to cover that. So nationally, homeowners now must earn $116,986 to afford a typical home. It's an increase of 50% from $78,236 back in 2020, according to Bankrate's Housing Affordable Study. What is unbelievable. The lowest income required was under $65,000, the highest at $240,000. And since January of 2020, the income needed to afford a typical home has risen due to higher mortgage rates in some areas, pandemic-driven migration has further fueled price increases. Homeowners from Cal and Seattle flooded into mountain and west states, and those in the Northeast, hubs like Boston and New York, relocated to Florida, the Carolinas, and Tennessee. The median national price for a home has increased by 20% in the last 5 years, rising from $349,750 5 years ago to $418,489 this year. So,
You can't afford it, and you can't afford rent either.
I know. In Florida, it's getting worse and worse. Especially down here in Southwest Florida, where we both live. Everybody's coming down here. The traffic is over the top. You can't get to Fort Myers Beach unless you can take 3 days off from work.
At least.
Yep. And
did you see the sinkhole?
Yes, I did.
I saw that this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep. That was on Fort Myers Beach, right?
They're going to swallow up the whole beach.
Yep.
And take it. No more.
Yep. There was a turtle that got stuck in it, but they got him out.
Okay.
Yeah, they got him out.
People, you go swim in that thing. That's fine. Leave the turtles out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it was nobody put it there. It got because the sinkhole. It's
walked
kind of
over
fell
to
in.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Poor thing. That's insane, and I can't believe that's just right around the corner from us.
I know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this was awesome, Sheila. As always, it's Friday. What you got planned for the weekend? Anything fun and exciting?
Angel's trying to talk to you.
Oh, go ahead, Angel.
Speaking of sinkholes, so it's only been one time. It's like when I first got here, and there was one out by Spring Hill. It turned out to be something small that apparently it was on the news, and then it grew bigger. So, of course, a lot of people were curious. They were passing by, and you could still get on the one side of the street. So I figured, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to park my car. I'm going to walk over there and take a look. I kept hearing So I walk up, and there's a crowd of folks. I won't reveal the gender, but I walk over and says, so I guess this is where everybody's looking at this big sinkhole. Person turns around, looks at me, dead in her face, says, who would want to put a hole here? I mean, there's a roadway. Why couldn't you put it somewhere else? I'm like, wow, really?
I can't imagine. Woman or man? It could be either.
Who's the comedian? Bill Engel. There's your sign.
Yeah. There's your sign, baby. Absolutely. And it's in big, bright red letters too.
Your
Wow.
truck, is your truck stuck, son? No, I said, I'm just carrying this, carrying the bridge with me.
I parked here, bitch.
There's your sign.
God.
There's your sign. Oh my God, that is great stuff. That's like that guy who's on Facebook. I forget. He goes around mostly in Vegas and New York, and he asks mostly young people the easiest questions. And they have no clue, like how many states there are. What's 3 times 3? What's 3 times 3 plus 2? Can you name one continent? Somebody will say like Utah. I mean, and they'll say like, what language do they speak in Idaho? And they're like, if aliens were watching these reels that are on social media, they would invade now.
No, they wouldn't. They don't want anything to do with us. We're too
it'd be easy to take over. Is what I'm saying. It'd be an easy
I know.
takeover. People
you
can't
can take us over, but why would you want to take over a bunch of idiots?
Well, I'd wipe them out.
Oh, okay. Okay, you would do Stewie. You'd go Stewie on us and just blow us up.
Or I'd go perform, beam them up to the ship and do space age lobotomy, whatever it takes. Find out how you can be so stupid.
Okay, so since you've got Cartman on, they get probed, right?
That's one of the
so
first
I'm just saying, man.
The anal probe, yep. And that was like the first episode.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that kind of fun. So
No. But some of these people deserve it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
All right, Sheila, we'll do this again very soon. We're going to close out the show today. Little Dire Straits action.
Oh, you're off early today. Where are you going?
Up early today. I'm going to get my hair cut. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I didn't. And
so you had to cut your show short.
Yeah, and it's a little cloudy, overcast here today. Might interfere with my pool time. We'll
get you that damn vitamin D, man.
We'll try to make it happen. Exactly. Sheila, thanks so much. You're the best, and we'll do this again much sooner rather than later, I promise. And some good things happening on the network, and you're going to be.
I'm happy about that.
You are.
I'm
you
excited.
are. Well, have a great weekend, and tell Joe and the gang I said hello, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Sheila.
Bye. Angel, thank you. Thanks to Sheila Book, and we'll be back Monday at 7 a.m. With some great stuff. I guaranteed. Have a great and safe weekend, everybody. I'm Pete. See you Monday at 7. Bye-bye.